The Monday nighter. Ravens at Raiders. Let's start with the market here. Ravens at Raiders. Sorry, got the fucking 1900 invested in the MLB card. It keeps popping up in my shit. The total opens up at 51. There is a 50.5 on the board at Pinnacle and a 51.5 on the board at Bet Online. The Ravens open up as 4-point road favorites. It's moved to 4.5. We move over to the cash flow in this spot. We have 10,352 tickets in, 74% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on the spread on the Ravens. Then we have 56% of the tickets on the under, but just 41% of the cash on the under. And, when we were breaking down the Raiders, I had a different idea on what they were going to do points total-wise than Babano. And I know the idea is that if you don't have an offensive line, you are going to not put up a lot of points. But I think with Carr and the dangerous receivers, that they're going to be airmailing everything out. And I think overs are going to be in play. And the fact that there is 59% of the cash on the over has me thinking about moving on it. It was my plan in the offseason. Ravens come in 2020, 11-5. Harbaugh, year 14. Greg Moman, year 3. Martindale, year 4. We all know what Harbaugh does in the preseason and in week 1. They bring in Sammy Watkins from the Chiefs. Alejandro Villanueva comes in with the exodus of Orlando Brown. That's a lot to ask of Villanueva, the old-timer. Rashad Bateman, 27th overall out of Minnesota. Tylan Wallace comes in round 4, 131st overall out of Oklahoma State. They lose Orlando Brown. They lose Yannick Ngakoue, Willie Snead, wide receiver to the Ravens, and Matthew Judon to the Patriots. The Ravens need to show the world they can win big games, and losing JK Dobbins to start the year hurts them. And this 2020 receiving core was terrible. And I don't know if Sammy Watkins with this 1-year deal. I love 1 year and 2. Well, I shouldn't say I love it. From a player personnel standpoint, you got to like the 1-year, 2-year contracts. From a caring about human being standpoint, it's a very difficult situation that these players are in. Rashard Bateman, 2021 first rounder. Tylan Wallace fell in the draft because of his knee issues. Devin DuVernay. These are. I don't know what to do with the Ravens offense. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I do know what to do with them. They lose Orlando Brown for the Chiefs. Ronnie Stanley coming off a serious ankle issue, and Villanueva. I do not trust. I'm going to bet the Browns to win the division tonight. This offensive line has looked terrible in the playoffs. It's hard to trust this Ravens team. There isn't an edge rusher who's coming in that had over 3 sacks last year. They signed Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters to extensions. Judon and Ngakoue leave as free agents. Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, Derek Wolfe are the most important players in this 3-4 defense up front. They're all over 30. There's a ton of question marks. With this Ravens team for me. And then the Raiders, last thing I want to do is trust the Raiders. Good thing they brought in Gus Bradley. Gruden in year 4. Olsen in year 6 as offensive coordinator. They bring in John Brown, Kenyon Drake, Ngakoue, Morig, Casey Hayward from the Chargers as a cornerback. They lose Aguilar to the Patriots. Tyrell Williams, wide receiver, Rodney Hudson. This John Gruden era has been what we expected it to be. Discouraging. No playoff appearances. Defense is being god-awful. Derek Carr, who Gruden didn't trust or believe in the beginning, has stood by him and has performed well. Ruggs was probably, and it's too early to say this, but probably a mistake to be the first receiver drafted. Darren Waller is a monster. They have Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake, which is going to help, but Rodney Hudson Gabe Jackson and Trent Brown are not given, but are gone. I mean, that's 286 starts and 4 Pro Bowls. So I don't understand it at all. You want Richie Incognito to fix all this shit? It just doesn't make sense. They draft Andre James at center. They draft Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama, 17th overall. So some good moves there.
They overdrafted Leatherwood.
Say what, Bebsie?
They overdrafted Leatherwood. He was like a 3rd round projection that they got at 17, which is a bit much, but it's difficult to make heads or tails of what the Raiders did this year because they made some head scratcher moves and then they made some really good moves, especially later on through the off season. But I can't. Honestly, the Raiders are a difficult team to make heads or tails of. There's some supreme talent on that team, and then there's some glaring holes. I think restructuring this offensive line was both a good and bad thing. I think, like I said, I just can't make heads or tails. They make some great picks in Max Crosby, but then they whiffed huge on Clelin Ferrell, who I thought, I was big into Clelin Ferrell coming out of Clemson. He's so far been an absolute bust, especially for a number 4 overall. So they're a very difficult team to make heads or tails of. On the other hand, you got the Ravens, who are just always good. Even when you think they're going to drop off, they're still good. Even when they lose this guy, they're still good. There's some other guy that steps up. They have been one of the best next man up football teams in the league for the last 2 decades. So I'm not betting this game. I have no interest in it. I don't even know where I lean. I probably lean Baltimore, but listen, one team should be taking a big step down, or not even a big step down, a small step back, and they probably won't. And that's the Ravens. And then the Raiders, I cannot figure out what they're doing because they've got some supreme talent, and then they have some mega whiffs. So for that, it's no play for me. Kudos if you've got an angle that I'm not seeing here, but I'm not feeling it.
What about the Browns to win the division?
I mean, that's the smart pick. They're a team on the rise. I think they have less questions about them than, say, the Ravens or the Steelers. So yeah, that would be my pick. I don't think it's easy to discredit a team like the Ravens, who are always good when you think they might take a step back. The Steelers. Yeah, they nosedived at the end of the season last year, but they started 11-0, and you don't start 11-0 just because of a favorable schedule. You still need to be a good football team. So yeah, I think smart money would be on Cleveland. I just don't think it's a gimme.
This total at 51. Oh, I'm going to pull the trigger, Schnizzle, for sure tonight. For sure. What do you think of this total at 51, now 50.5 for the Monday Nighter?
Listen, I think that the Ravens are going to have to generate offense without JK Dobbins. Gus Edwards, oh my. I don't know how much excitement I would have if that was my lead back. But to be honest with you, they'll find a way. So I would probably lean under because of the time of year, but it's not overly exciting for me.
Well, we will tweet out all of our official action. I'm going to go over everything right now, but I believe Bebsie has 3 bets, and I'm going to be sitting here over the next couple hours figuring exactly out how I'm going to bang this out. But I've been talked off of the Eagles. I wonder if the Jalen Hurts prop, I should pull that up. It's just from a rushing standpoint, maybe just simplifying things too easy. Steelers plus 6.5. I'm moving on. Steelers plus 6.5. I expect the Bills to win week 1. I just think it's too many points. Then we have the Bengals-Vikings spot. I was talked off the Bengals, and I get it. I'll be talked off the Bengals. That's fine. We'll watch that Bengals-Vikings first game. I'm moving on the 49ers minus 7.5. You are not, Bebsie?
I am not.
And why?
I don't know why yet. I'll let you know come Sunday.
All right. Then we have, and we will tweet everything out that's official. The over 52 in the Cardinals, Tennessee Titans, I don't think I'm going to move on at this point. I'm going to spend more time on it. Certainly not my plan. Bebsie's first bet is the Titans minus 3 at plus 102. And I'm very interested in it now that he's pulled the trigger with a lot of support from the chat. I'm moving on the Colts plus 2.5. And I'm not sold on this being this defensive game, but I got to spend more time on the total and watch it. Then next up, we have the Chargers as a pick'em from Bebsie. And God, I'm extremely interested in that game. That's one of my favorite games coming up this Sunday. Then the Panthers and the team total over. I want to bet. I just don't know if I can pull the trigger tonight. But I do want to bet them badly. I think the Panthers stomp on Salah in his first opportunity as a head coach with the defensive injuries that he's faced. So maybe just saying it out loud again, I move on. The Texans, I'm going to stay off, but man, it's going to be 2.5 when we wake up this morning, and maybe it's worth it just taking it now. The Browns plus 6. It's going to be another bet I make. Maybe it's a terrible mistake with Reed off of a bye. And you know what? I'm going to hold off on that one. And I know that market's moving towards the over, and maybe, I'm going to sit and think on that one for a little bit longer. Then we move on to Bebsie on the under 44 and Dolphins Patriots. We know that a ton of cash is being in on the over. And I want the Dolphins plus 3. I want to fade the rookie in week 1. And if he beats me, Mac Jones, God bless you. But you know what? I'm going to bet against you, and you have to prove it. Then we have next up the Packers-Saints game. And you have not pulled the trigger on the Saints yet, right, Bebsie?
No, because they're not playing at home.
Yeah.
That's my holdback there.
I get it. Then the Broncos minus 2.5. You moved on minus 126. That's the last one on the board. Puzzler says Reed hasn't lost in September since 2016. Jesus. Love Puzzler. And Bibbs, you met Puzzler. He came and drank with us when we were at the bar on our show there. Great man he is. He's a great man. Next up, Rams. And there's no move. I'm going to move on the Bears team total under. I think they're being sent to the Wolves. I agree with this look. And I'm not sure what to do with the Rams full game. I think that I might wait on that. And then the Monday nighter, no move for either of us. And that is our entire show. The longest show we've ever had before, Bebsie. Thank you for fighting the good fight.
Pleasure, buddy.
Everybody supporting our show, thank you so much for your support. And these shows won't always be 3 hours, but we're fighting the good fight, and we're so excited about NFL football being back, and we want to make money in the worst ways. Bebsie, my man, any last words? But also let you know that we are thinking about you, and we know you're coming off the hernia surgery, and we missed you for the futures videos, but we know you were fighting the good fight, and it's so good to see you back on screen, making money. Only 3 looks so far, but we saw what you did in the first few weeks last year, so we expect greatness from you.
Well, I'll be adding to those 3 picks before Sunday. But yeah, good to be back, Jimmy. It's good to see you guys in the chat. You guys are all diamonds. Thank you so much for coming back. The love is felt. You guys are great. But yeah, I'll be throwing out some more picks before Sunday for sure.
We love it. Catch Bebsie and I here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have nothing without you guys. Princess C said, so for go home. Dennis Garcia says nap time. Chris Brady, Trusty, Harold Williams, Ick Schnizzle, Hoops 590, G Sauce. Lanil Land, Dennis Trusty, Puzzler, Leroy Flood, the most Slatsy, Al Cervic, Birdie. We just want to win. We just want to succeed and improve our lives. And that's why we put together a 3-hour and 7-minute show. Bebsie, I love you, baby. Nice to have you back in action, making your pub sports radio debut. I'll be back in action in 11 hours and 53 minutes, breaking down the entire card on Betting with the Bag. But let's fucking go. Let's have a giant football season, and let's have one more shot at Kraken in celebration of all of our hard work. Pub sports radio. There's no rules, baby. No fucking rules, baby. This is to all you guys in the chat supporting our show. We love you. We better fucking succeed. But if we don't, we will be honest about our losing. But we better fucking succeed, for fuck's sakes. I think Jose fucked off on us. And if he did fuck off on... Oh, no, there he is. There he is. Look at him. Let's just pop him. There he is. Look at that guy. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. But Bebsie, this is for you. Get better as fast as possible. And thank you for your hard work. Let's get paid in fucking full. Big football season ahead of us. Let's fucking go. On behalf of Rob Bebenek, myself, and everybody at Pub Sports Radio, let's get paid in full. It means the world now. Football's back, baby.